Now, before we get started, I just wanted to tell you about a magical cookbook that I'm making that's going to be available on Kickstarter, and the link is down in the description. There's some more information later on in the video, but for now, let's crack on. How to get real magical powers. I can teach you how to get real magical powers, but you will need to put away some ideas about how to get there. Whether you're looking for ways to get rich, fall in love, have better health, learn telepathy, or even fly, this video is for you. I'll explain how to give yourself real magical powers, and it's probably not what you think. So click that like button right now, subscribe and ding that bell because it's all coming up right after this. Welcome to Real Wizardry, where we make your life more magical. My name's Neil Trigger and I'm going to be your magical host, and today I'm talking about how to get real magical powers or superpowers. Now, I need to be realistic first off, and I say that I don't sell magic wands like Ollivander at the Harry Potter series.
No, definitely not.
But don't panic or click away. I've promised you real magical superpowers and I'm going to deliver on that. So here's the Real Wizardry top ways to get real magical powers. Number 1, telepathy. Telepathy has another name in the field of psychology, and it's called rapport. Rapport is a state in which two or more people can communicate so deeply that the boundaries of reality just fade away. In other words, if you and I were in rapport, we might both forget who said something and just agree that we both think it. And it may sound a little bit lame as a version of telepathy, but it's a great way to give you superpowers and an advantage over other people, because you can then control other people getting into and out of rapport with you. So you can control conversations and persuade anyone to do anything that you want them to. The key to getting into rapport is mirroring. Other videos will explain this in a bit more detail, the ins and outs of mirroring techniques, but the most important thing to remember here is to not mimic. By mirroring successfully, you can get into a telepathic state where other people are easily molded to your will. If you need an example, let me tell you a story. When I was in my 20s, I entered a business competition against 36,000 other people, and I got down to the last 100 or so before needing to pitch my idea to 6 people in turn. I gave my pitch, and as I was being asked questions, I mirrored each judge in turn. I mirrored their body language, their tone of voice, their blinking and breathing rates, getting into deep rapport with each one of them in turn. One judge actually said something about my idea while we were in this rapport state, and at the end of the interview, she leaned forward and shook my hand and said, "I love what you said about," and then proceeded to tell me her own idea as if I had just said it. And of course she loved my idea because it was her idea. By blurring the boundaries of what was her and what was me, she had implanted the idea in herself that I had thought of her own great idea. And obviously I was happy to take credit for it. Now, incidentally, I won that national competition, and here's a photograph to prove it. Now, here's something freaky anyone can try with telepathy. The next time you're on a bus, I know you probably won't be with COVID, but next time you're on a bus, sit near the back if you can and pick someone who's sat alone, not listening to music and not distracted by their phone. That might be a bit of a challenge too. An older man or woman, perhaps. Now, just stare at the back of their head and imagine scratching a hole in their head, maybe with a sharp knife or something. Don't actually do it, obviously. Just drilling that hole in their skull in your imagination. Don't break eye contact with the back of their head, which I know sounds a bit strange, but just keep on boring and staring into that back of their head. The person will eventually turn around because they sense you staring at the back of their head. This is very spooky and nobody can explain it, but it is a reliable test of your new magical superpowers, and you now have the magical skill of telepathy. You're welcome. Hi, I'm Neil Trigger. I'm a YouTuber and an author and a massive Harry Potter nut, and I'm raising money to help fund the first run of an exciting new cocktail book that helps bring magic to life. Most wizard-themed cocktail books include butterbeer recipes or things with pumpkins or worms in them, and yeah, okay, this one does too. But what about recipes that you can make at home that look and feel like real magic? Just throw that on into the cauldron. Cocktails that glow, smoke, bubble, change colour or spark. I've collected a whole host of awesome, delicious and easy recipes that you can make in your own home, including the bubbling worm juice cocktail that looks like it contains real worms, but it bubbles like a witch's cauldron, and you can drink it. Or the colour changing magical love potion that tastes like raspberries. By the way, if you don't want booze, or if you want to share these ideas with your kids, I've got non-alcoholic drinks too, like the Brain Ooze or the Frog Spawn Swamp Juice. For the adults, there's the Black Magic Margarita, the Smoking Blob, the Sparkling Fizz Bangers, and I'm only sorry that I can't show you some of these, but that's only because I need funds to be able to bring this stuff to life. The first print run of this cocktail book needs to raise £5,000 to ensure that we can get a good deal on the real leather binding to make these magical books look and feel as magical as they really deserve. I want them to have foiling and be traditionally bound as well. And as a special bonus, your name will be printed in the first print run and you'll get your personal signed copy just for you. If you prefer I didn't sign it, obviously, let me know. I'm really passionate about this, and so I'd love it if you could support me in this campaign. The link is down in the description of this video, and if you're seeing this video on the campaign website, hopefully you'll know what to do. I'm so excited to make this book a possibility, and I'm really happy that you're here with me on this journey. Please do pledge for your chance to be part of the magic and help me bring this magical wizarding cocktail book to life. Thank you. Number 2, learn witchcraft. Okay, put your wand away. This is real wizardry, where anything is possible. In the real world, there's no flashing lights or whooshing sounds as you cast your magic out into the world. Magic is far more subtle than that, but it really does work. And yes, I said that. Magic does work, and I'll explain why I believe that. This may sound like a bit of hocus pocus, but spells work too, and the way that they work is different to how you might expect, though. In a study by Dr. Richard Wiseman from the University of Herefordshire, it was found that lucky people have better luck than unlucky people. And that is that people who thought they were lucky have better luck than those who think they're unlucky. Richard Wiseman is the professor for the public understanding of psychology, and he wrote a book called Quirkology. He explains that merely by thinking that you are lucky, you will be. Thinking that you're unlucky will also make you unlucky. The way this works is that we all get dealt both good and bad luck. People who think that they are lucky recognise their good luck as good luck and either ignore their bad luck, or through something called confirmation bias, or by changing the situation through their own actions into something that better suits their view of the world, they become luckier, and so they deserve that good luck. And obviously this can be fairly complex, so let's give an example. Dr. Wiseman conducted a luck experiment where he surveyed people just to find out if they considered themselves lucky or unlucky. Shortly after the interview, the participants left the experimentation building and went home, one by one, thinking that everything had finished. But the experiment had only just begun, because on the way, they were given the opportunity to find some money that an experimenter had actually dropped in their path, positioned in such a way that the participant had to see it. People who thought that they were unlucky usually walked past the money without even seeing it, through something called negative hallucination, while lucky people usually saw and took the money. Now, this doesn't mean that either group is either lucky or unlucky, merely that people's perceptions affect what they do with the situation that they're presented with. Your mind works on symbols, and your unconscious mind, that part of you that you're not really aware of but controls your heart rate, your automatic reactions like fear and excitement, they work on symbols because language is just too slow and complex for its rapid and almost primal instincts. To communicate with your unconscious mind is to increase your power, and you do this in ways that you may not even realise. So how do you communicate in symbols? Well, the best way is with spells. Spells are a hugely powerful tool to talk to your unconscious mind. They focus your energy on what you want and use symbols like candles and action together with chants and imagination to bring about change. Prayers work in a similar way, but I would say that spells are more effective simply because they've got that visceral overall action about them. Most witches say that reading someone else's spells and doing that is nowhere near as powerful as making your own spells from scratch, and this is why. Your own symbolism is powerful for you. You will make changes in your own behaviour because the symbols are based on your own actions, your own thoughts and your own imagination. And your own behaviour really is the only thing you have any control over anyway. Remember that breaking the laws of physics or interfering with free will is just impossible, and is ill-advised even to try, so it's better to ask for perfect love rather than saying I want to fall in love with so-and-so, or I want so-and-so to fall in love with me. Spells work, and this is how you can cast real spells. Number 3, illusion. My life is experienced by me. I influence it. I control what I see, feel, smell, touch, taste. Without my nerves and all my senses, I would just stop experiencing the world. The world would go black. Even my brain would stop. Illusion is reality, and reality is illusion. What I see isn't reality, it's my version of reality. There is a saying that perception is reality, and it's true, but what I perceive and what you perceive as reality are both true to us, and not necessarily true in the world. At least, not entirely true. If 1,000 people saw a spacecraft land in Times Square in New York, it may be deemed a real event, but several thousand people saw David Copperfield make the Statue of Liberty vanish. The latter was an illusion, but it was very real to the spectators at that point. However, because it was an illusion and everybody knew it was an illusion, no one really thought that that thing had vanished. My final point here is that reality is not yours to control, but if you can control what other people witness, it amounts to the same thing. If you contrive events so that it looks like you have vanished through a wall and there's really no sensible explanation to your audience other than magical powers, that's what their reality will be. So to get rich, start by believing that you're lucky, even if you haven't been so far. Remember that luck is all in your head. You're lucky, so be lucky. If you want to fall in love, do spells to increase your attractiveness. The spell will work on your unconscious mind to change how you stand, how you hold yourself, how you feel, and how other people see you. What is this spell? Well, make it up yourself. This may not be what you want to hear, but by making up and doing a spell yourself, you will be more invested in it. It's the process of making it up that will make it work. It frankly doesn't matter what you do, provided that you believe that it will work, and you've got to really believe that it will. If you want my spell, of course, light a red candle and a green candle, circle the red symbolising love with the green symbolising luck 7 times, as 7 is a lucky and powerfully magical number. Once done, fuse those red and green candles together so that the flames burn as one and blow out both, or snuff out both, however you want to do it. It's well recognised though that people who have a happy life, one that's full of love and laughing, live longer than those who don't. So it's easy to have better health simply by being happy. And remember, that spell is my spell. You can do it by all means, but try to make up your own. Happiness starts with recognising all the good things in your life. So it's all about perception too. Write a gratitude journal. Every day, just put something in it. Every now and then, go back and read it back. What about flying then? Well, I'm afraid that you're going to have to use illusion for that, simply because physics won't allow you to fly like Superman. You can obviously fly by using machines and planes or jetpacks, but remember that until these things were invented, nobody thought that that was even possible. So why not try something impossible and see if it does work? Obviously do it safely, don't jump off a building, that would be mental. I hope these tips have helped you and that you can try to put this advice to good use. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe for more of the same and click that bell button to be notified of next time I go live or upload anything. I'll be back next time with some more magical awesomeness, but until next time, as always,
Stay magical.